8 title defences in 12 months. There's never been anything like it or him. The unbeaten WBO super middleweight champion of the world, Chris Eubank. Stage 2 tonight, and a chance of a lifetime for Sam Storey, who's a good mate of our guest, Steve Collins. Steve, what is Storey's best chance of a win tonight?
I think what Sam has to do to win tonight is to get out and get the early lead, win the first half of the fight, and try and encourage Chris Eubanks to come to him and counterpunch, which is what a southpaw does best. I think he's going to work on Chris's left eye, which cut in his last fight, may open up. Although Chris has a terrific cut man, Freddie King in his corner, it might have a psychological effect on him.
You've been in with both Ray Close and Storey. You rate Storey better, don't you?
Yeah, I've worked with both Sammy and Ray Close in Eastwood's gym when I was there. And Sammy is a very good technician. He's a good, big, strong southpaw, a legitimate contender. If he's up for the occasion, it's a big occasion for him. If he can rise to it, if his confidence is with him, he might be the man to pull it off.
Are we in then for a major upset? Let's rejoin Glenn McCrory and Ian Dark.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, will Eubank be courting more controversy tonight? Is Sam Storey the right man in the right place at the right time? The bookmakers obviously favouring Eubank. Let's check the tail of the tape for you for this one tonight. Eubank, the younger man by 3 years at 28. Storey, though, is 2 inches taller. He's a 6-footer, big man, and he has a slight reach advantage as well. They both weighed in dead on the 12-stone limit. As for the rules for this contest tonight, 10 points to the winner of every round, 9 usually to the losers. If there's a knockdown, it's probably scored 10-8, 2 knockdowns, 10-7. If there's 3 knockdowns in a round, there will be an automatic stoppage. The rest of it is fairly standard there. Now then, in the past, the judges have been controversial characters at Chris Eubank fights. These are the 3 men making the decisions tonight. Mark Streisand from America, Billy Rafferty of Scotland judging his first Eubank fight, Arthur Ellenson from Germany. Our MC tonight, as always on Eubank occasions, is Alan Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Cardiff's International Arena, live and exclusive on Sky Sports, will you please welcome into the ring the boxers for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World. First, undefeated in 3 years, will you welcome the challenger for the title from Belfast, Sam Storey. Ladies and gentlemen, will you now welcome into the arena, defending his title, the reigning WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, simply the best, Chris Eubank! Nothing can prepare you for the main event, which is sponsored by Mortal Kombat 2 and promoted by Barry Hearn from Action Boxing in association with Dragon Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a super middleweight contest with a match made by Frank Turner of London over 12 rounds each of 3 minutes duration for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Your judges at ringside is referee of Scotland, Mark Streisand of Miami, Florida, Arthur Edelson of Germany, and your WBO supervisor in charge is Ed Levine of Miami, Florida, and your boxing board of control, still in charge, is Lord Brooks of Trafora. Ladies and gentlemen, your timing by Gordon Pate, and when the bell rings and the action begins, the referee is Dave Harris of London. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the action? Presenting and introducing to you the boxers. First, in the red corner, with those green shorts, with a professional record of 22 wins from 25 contests, 12 inside the distance. Will you welcome these weighing in at 12 stone exactly from Belfast, the former British Super Middleweight Champion, challenger for the title, Storey.
Quite a bit of support as well for Storey. Some of them have travelled over on the ferry to be here.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the blue corner with those gold shorts, with an amazing, unbelievable professional record of 38 wins, 2 draws from 40 contests, 18 inside the distance, but also weighing in at 12 stone. Will you welcome Leeds from Brighton, making the 12th defence of his title, the undefeated WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Chris Eubank!
I'd say, there for Eubank from the Cardiff fans. Well, as we've said so often before, you either love him or you hate him.
Make yourself what do you got there? You have a got bright good answer. Try again, boys. Good luck to you both.
Referee, the experienced Londoner Dave Paris, one of our most experienced officials. Well, can Eubank now keep up the excitement level once the bell sounds? He was called Chris Useless, Chris U-Bore. After his last fight, he took a right pounding from the press. What does he do this time against Sam Storey? And the posturing has already started. Storey, you'll notice, southpaw leads with the right hand. Storey just brought a little bit of balance. Eubank, who hasn't won inside the distance now for over 2 years. The last 9 fights have gone the full 12-round allocation. What's Storey's game plan, you think, got to be here then?
I think he's got to try and start fast. He's got to try and mess Chris Eubank up a little bit with the jab from the southpaw stance. He's got to try and change it around a bit. You know, he's got to get in there quick. You know, just keep him off balance. I think Eubank will be wanting to get this fight over quickly.
Storey, the former British champion at this weight. This looks a little bit tentative and nervous. That's maybe understandable. Storey, big night, easily his biggest, and twice what he's ever been paid before. All right hand coming in from Eubank, who is a dangerous puncher when the mood takes him.
A good solid shot. Rock Storey's head.
Cheers and derision from the crowd as Eubank goes into his party pieces.
I feel like at that moment when Storey should attack him, you know, his opponent softened, suck it in, they just watch him.
It's almost like he mesmerizes his opponents at times. He kind of establishes a psychological hold. Creates this aura around himself in the way of a much grander scale Muhammad Ali and Sugar Ray Leonard used to. The right hand was a good one from Eubank. He's landed with a couple of solid-looking punches. Not really fully loose yet, Storey.
No, he's not. He still looks very tight.
Storey's chin has usually been pretty reliable, except when he lost his British title against James Cook 4 years ago. Down on the floor a couple of times and stopped in that one. Usually pretty solid. This is Eubank's opening round so far. And he's won that one already, I think. Welcome back live to Cardiff. Chris Eubank, good opening round, landing with a couple of good right hands in that opening round, didn't he, Glenn?
He did. There's one of them there. Just catches him just by the top of the chest, but good solid shot. I think he gets him with a better one than that. Really in the round. Very quite aggressive start for Eubank.
Round two. And Sam Storey, the 31-year-old, just looking a bit tight and a shade nervous. The opening round.
Yes, he's got to try and loosen up a bit and get his shots off.
A good, solid career Storey without ever hitting the headlines. What he sometimes lacked, though, is a bit of devil, a bit of inspiration. Can he find that tonight? The adrenaline must really be flowing in there for him. Eubank, of course, we've seen it all before. I think he thought he was hit a bit low there, Eubank, gesturing, but never, ever taking his eyes of Storey.
And this is a fantastic opportunity for Storey, so he shouldn't have any trouble in getting himself up for this fight.
Right uppercut inside from Chris Eubank. He says he doesn't care what the critics say about him. He says he'll always just do enough to win. He says if people want thrillers, they should go and watch Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I think deep down, he would like to ram a few words back down a few throats. Shouts from Storey's corner of be first. In other words, get leading with that southpaw right. Take the fight to Eubank. Stay busy, Eubank. Try and Storey and try and outscore Eubank here, hasn't he?
He has. He's got to fight his own fight, so he's got to be busy. He's got to get off. He hasn't got to get mesmerised by Eubank. I think that's what happens. A lot of opponents do that. They forget about their own work.
Storey coming forward there and just beginning to warm to the task a little, maybe in the second round.
He got Eubank in the corner, but he's very wary about keeping him there. And retreated straight away.
He's self-managed, Storey, but he does all his training in Barney Eastwood's gym in Belfast. There's good quality sparring. There's some good fighters in there. Last quarter of a minute of round two. Storey's done better in this round. He's definitely upped his work rate, Storey, anyway.
But you're not putting enough pressure on.
Storey with Barney Eastwood, John Green and Tony Baker in the corner. Did some better work in that second round.
Get him with 6 seconds.
He did. He just started to loosen up a little bit more and get his shots off. Just some of his work. Just this way he pins you right in the corner, but he's not keen to stay there, and he backs straight off.
Third round, due to go 12, of course. Eubank's WBO Super Middleweight Championship on the line. It's Eubank's 17th World Championship fight, his 12th defence of this title. If he gets through the next year, there will be 18 defences. And that's all in the future. All the time, Eubank's brain will be computing just what Storey has to offer him by way of a challenge. He says he needs to be provoked, Eubank. Well, can Storey do that? Classy work from the temple.
He's trying to force him, trying to get the centre of the ring and use that jab. The jab that could give Eubank problems.
Well, he got home with the jab, but Eubank was waiting for him and countered with the right hand. He was trying to lure Storey in there so he could counter. He's very comfortable when he does counter Eubank. That's the trouble with taking it to him too much. Storey did that well. He got in the jab and then avoided any counter from Eubank. Some short with the right hand from Eubank. Good travel from him, good tension. Does it, the eccentric posturing style takes some getting used to.
It certainly doesn't. I think it's so hard for his opponents because they just don't know what to expect. They've seen it a million times on TV and whatever, but they still don't know what's coming next.
Eubank there just shook his head at Storey as if to say, well, that might have landed, but you haven't rattled me.
obviously looking for that right-hand counter, which is the known shot against the southpaw. That is the one you look for.
Storey, the 6-1 underdog. He's, after a rather tentative start, he's settled down quite well. Is Eubank going to be walking the tightrope with the judges yet again tonight, you wonder? Oh, that was nice. Really sent the spray flying from Storey's head as it landed. Gone, and he's doing his statue impersonation this time. Trainer Ronnie Davis, who's been in boxing all his life, former Southern Area champion.
When he comes to you and you pick him up. Come ahead. When he comes to you, pick him up. All right.
You can hear some of the words from the corner there, from Ronnie Davis there, when he comes to pick him off.
Here's something like that good solid jab from Eubank. Just with good counters and then a good solid jab, really rock Storey's head back.
Well, we gave, well I did anyway, gave Storey a share of round 2, the other 2 to Eubank, but there wasn't a lot in it in that third round. Very unofficial scorecard.
Storey's starting to settle down now. He's starting to think about his word, looking a bit sharper. He's certainly looking more keyed up.
He's working much better now behind that southpaw jab of his, isn't he? Eubank recently fought a southpaw in Graziano Rocchigiani. He won that one in Germany. Yet again, there were arguments from some about the decision. I thought Eubank won it pretty well. Good jab from Storey, and a fair left hook back from Eubank. This goes on though, the less phased he looks by the occasion. He did look a bit phased, I have to say, early on. First round.
He looked very, very uptight in that first round, but he's settling down well.
Fourth round here. Walkabout again, presenting the mobile target for Storey. Always changing the angle. Chance of Storey now from his right crowd. They're behind the challenger, but he's caught by 2 or 3 there to the head. And there's a cut underneath the right eye, I think, of Storey. Try to have a closer look at that. It's just a nick. It certainly won't be too much of a problem because the blood will not flow into the eye. But Storey is cut here in round 4.
Storey still managing to land with that jab. I think his corner wanted to throw more. I feel he's rated Eubank too much.
Eubank has got him going a little bit here. Looked a bit off balance there for a moment, Storey. And I think he's feeling the weight of Eubank's punches all right. Next Eubank's round. He's going to Storey's corner. Eubank got into some good punches in the last minute of that round, didn't he, Glenn?
He did. He looked under a fair bit of pressure in the last few seconds. He's looking more positive, Eubank. He's trying to load down the shot for left hook, but not a good one.
It's not too serious, the facial damage at this point for Storey. He has got one of those faces that looks as if it might cut up. That's 44 punches landed by Eubank, 38 by Storey, we make it so far. Slight delay before they get all the various paraphernalia out of the corner, and off we go, 5th round. Storey with a cut underneath his right eye. How good is this Eubank performance so far, do you think, Glenn?
So far he's done all right, and he's certainly looking more positive. He's certainly looking as if he's trying to get his biggest shots on. And Storey's making him fight.
Storey is ranked number 10 by the World Boxing Organization. There would be one or two super middleweights ahead of him as Eubank looks to open up again. Storey covered up quite well and found his own counter. No, I think they only landed on the gloves. People at the back of the hall getting excited about those. I don't think they were landing from Storey, not on the target area. That did, though.
The good thing for Storey is he's taking the Eubank shots and coming back.
Support for Storey. This crowd, there's no doubt about it, most of them have come here to see Eubank licked. But he's obviously not in the mood to oblige. Storey's having a better round here. Less coming back from Eubank. No, those punches from Eubank are only landing on the glove. Storey covered up well. Been a good little comeback in this round from Storey, who looked under some pressure towards the end of the 4th.
As he's warming into it now, he's looking a lot looser and he's getting his shots off a lot better.
That's a good right uppercut though on the counter from Eubank. No sign yet of any cut opening up with Eubank. He has been cut in his last 2 fights by the left eye. Well, I think Storey might have taken that round. Shots from the 2 corners here in Cardiff. On the right, Sam Storey. Barney Eastwood doing the talking. Eubank on the left. Storey probably having his best round so far.
Yes, certainly I thought it was a Storey round. And it come from a good start from Eubank. The first 30 seconds, Eubank trying to put Storey on the rope. The Storey came back well and I think won the round.
Round 6. No knockdown so far. There we are. I've got Eubank a couple of rounds ahead at this point. Can Storey build on that little bridgehead? Oh, right hand! He really caught him with that. Excellent punch from Eubank. Now, can Storey get up from that? There is a mandatory 8 count. He was up what looked at about 6. The count goes on to 8, and instead of following up the attack, Eubank stands in the corner and beckons him in. Well, this man defies every rule of boxing logic, but that was a very good punch and proof really that he does have that power there. Oh, and tremendous Story's legs betraying him. I think he just slipped. There's something on the canvas, maybe a bit of water had got out there. Dave Paris attempts to clear it up. Well, he's extraordinary, isn't he, Eubank? Absolutely extraordinary.
It's a fantastic right hand. But the amazing thing, he's given Storey his opportunity to rush in for a shot, but Storey just hasn't got the confidence to do it. He doesn't know what to expect.
Well, it's really strange that he had the man going. He got him down. He didn't follow up the attack. He had the chance, maybe, to have scored the win inside schedule, but chose not to do it that way.
I think that's maybe a mark of his confidence that he can hurt this man.
Well, he ought to be in Hollywood, didn't he? Looks as if he's auditioning for a job as a mime artist, doesn't he, Chris Eubank?
Yeah, it's remarkable antics in the ring. Most fighters would have took their opportunity then and getting their opponent out of the way. But he just feels confident enough to give him another chance.
It's all part of his psychological byplay, isn't it? As if to say, I don't need to do that. I'm that much in control. Well, big round for Eubank. Story down. And just moving a little less steadily on his feet since that point. Eubank had a £50 bet, by the way, that he'd win in this round. Also on the 2nd, 4th, 8th and 10th. Every other round, money going to charity should he win. Well, he had the chance to have finished it. All right uppercut from Eubank was classy in bursts. He does look classy, Eubank. There's no doubt about that. And well, you can do without the posturing, but you can't question the quality of the right hand.
Water coming through.
That round, I think, will have been scored 10-8 to Eubank because there was a knockdown in it.
I'm sure it would have been a 10-8 round. A great right hand would. Unbelievable what he did in that round. Here's the big right hand coming up there. Over he goes. And at that point, it didn't look as if Storey was going to get up. Very good punch, right on the end of the jaw.
Storey had the guts and courage to get up from that. It really was a good shot. Fast. Trouble here now. Signs of anguish from him here. Well, are we closing in on the end here? Distress signals from Storey, and he might do well to get through this, I think. He's cut around the face. He's been feeling Eubank's power. And it looks now as if Eubank might be on course here for an inside schedule win. I think the gum shield of Storey's come out there. The referee hasn't seen it. Now he has. There'll be a little stoppage. Nope, he says, fight on. And usually they take it to the corner to be clean, and Storey is taking a lot of punishment here. He bravely tries to fight back, goes down again. Now they want to call it off. They've thrown in a white towel from the corner. They're not allowed to do that officially. And Dave Paris has now stopped it. And the limping Storey goes away. And Chris Eubank has scored his first inside schedule win for over 2 years. His first in 10 fights. Sam Storey beaten in the 7th round, and Eubank on this occasion, it has to be said, in between all the posturing, did an effective job.
He did some very good work, a good finish. He piled the pressure on, but I think Storey was so frustrated from the first knockdown. He didn't know what was going on, and then he obviously he showed some sort of leg problem, and then Eubank just put the pressure on and it was all over.
I think when Storey went down the first time, he injured his ankle or leg. They're here. Let's have a look. Now this is the finish of the fight. This is the...
Eubank dishing out some good punches there. he set his mind to stop this man.
Seemed to be a hint of pushing, but there were plenty of punches as well. I think just the weight of the punishment Storey went down from. Eubank is still the champion. 41 fights unbeaten. 12 defences unbeaten. And tonight, no controversy, no arguments. He won and won well. We'll hear it officially in a moment.
In the 1 minute of round 7 that the referee has stopped the contest, Storey being in no position to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and still the WBO middleweight champion of the world, Chris Eubank.
And the next stop on the world tour is due to be October the 15th in Sun City against American Dan Schommer in South Africa, where he hopes to meet Nelson Mandela. You wouldn't bet against that either, would you, really?
I'm sure somebody will work that out for him.
Somebody unkindly said Nelson Mandela might give him a better fight, but that's being a bit cruel.
To a young man who's made a tremendous impact in this contest, Sam Storey, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it wasn't to be for Sam Storey tonight. There were times when he looked to be getting into the fight, but really Eubank's power was the decisive factor there.
It was. I think that was shown from the early rounds, where that right hand looked very dangerous right from the beginning. And they looked very apprehensive and frustrated, Sam Storey.
Well, he took a fair amount of stick after that defence against Maurizio Amaral. Came through it, didn't know what he would take into the ring tonight. Now we know. An explosive win from Chris Eubank. Steve Collins, our guest tonight, what did you make of that?
It was a cracking right hand that he caught Sammy with, and Sammy just never got over it. When he went down, maybe his knee injury came back, but after that right hand, I think his confidence just went, and it was only a matter of time before Chris caught up with him. And unfortunately, it was stopped. I would like to see it go the full distance, because it was getting interesting, I thought.
Storey came into this fight, you think, with knee problems?
No, I don't think he had knee problems coming into the fight. He has had knee problems in the past. It didn't affect him training for this fight. But when he did get caught with that cracking right hand and he went down awkward, he may have brought the knee problem back, but I don't think that's an element in the stoppage. I think he was hurt, and Eubank didn't give him a chance to get off the ropes. Maybe he couldn't move his knee, I don't know. We'll find out afterwards when we speak to him.
Let's go and rejoin Ian Darker. I think he's got Chris Eubank with him.
Well, here is Chris Eubank. He's just having the sweat wiped off. Congratulations, Chris. Still the champion. What were your thoughts on your performance tonight?
You see, I will always do exactly what I want to, if I'm allowed to. You know, I can't predict that I'm going to do well, but let me give a message to Mr. Sam Chisholm. I may not be the very best in the world. I'm one of the best.
This is the Sky boss you're talking to now, isn't it? Now, be careful here. He's my boss, too.
No, he's all right. I seem to be a businessman. I can promise you that there'll be no one, you'll find no one more entertaining than I in this ring. And I will do what you want me to do with these viewing figures. They will rise.
Now, aside from that, did you feel going in there tonight you'd had a lot of criticism from the press that you had something to prove, that you still had power, you could still finish fights inside schedule?
Well, it's not that I went out here tonight to prove that. As you saw when I first had him on the hook, there was no way I was going to just knock him out. It's not my style, it's not my way. I'm an emotional fighter. If it comes, it comes. It did tonight. And that's the way I am, unless I'm provoked. If I'm provoked, if someone is beating me, humiliating me, if someone is giving me an absolute, spanking, I will raise, and the animal in me will come out. But I can't just summon that. It has to be provoked.
You've always said you needed to be provoked. Did he provoke you?
This was just a clean boxing match, He's such a nice man. I said to him yesterday after the weigh-in and the physical, I said, did you pass? He said, yes. I said, it's unfortunate because now we have to fight. And that's my frame of mind, It's not something I like doing. We're friends. He's a very nice man. I'm a reasonable man myself. And, it's just a job of work. It's business,
I know it's business and I know you do it for money, but is it satisfying for you to have just rammed a few words down a few throats by having an inside schedule win here?
Well, I don't get pleasure out of, making people wrong and pushing it down their throats. All I want to do is educate people and say, well, I only can do the best I can. I don't, if sometimes I don't perform and please the public, it's not my fault. I'm just doing my job, So they shouldn't hold bad performances against me. Let me just send my love to my wife, Karen. I'm coming home. I'm getting on the 12 o'clock, car to take me down to Brighton. I'll see you about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Say hi to the boys for me, Christopher, Sebastian, little Emily, my little girl, coming home.
No party in Cardiff tonight. That's not your style, is it?
I need to see my wife. I've been in Paris for the last 2 weeks. I need to go home.
Barry Hearn's here as well. Barry, the next stop on this tour is in Sun City. What are the details of that?
Well, October the 15th, as you know, the opponent is Dan Schomer, who is undefeated in 31 contests. So, I mean, we're bringing the very best. Eubank now is undefeated in 41, Schomer undefeated in 31, 72 contests between them. I don't think anyone can criticise that. They tried to criticise Sam Storey tonight, the popular press. I thought Sam fought a very brave fight. He took some big shots and he stood his ground and he fought like the warrior that we know he is. Schomer is a tough one. We know it's a tough one. That's why Chris will have a few days away in New York with his wife and then straight down to training, 3 weeks preparation in Sun City. It's going to be a hard fight, but it's the name of the game. This is a tough tour, but he's 2 down, 6 to go.
Does that frighten you a little? Not frighten you, but does it? You feel, oh my goodness me, I've got to fight again in another 6 weeks' time? No break.
I detest fighting, but it's a job of work, and I'm no coward. The Lord hates a coward, and I'll always move forward. Let me just send a message to Jean. Could you open the cafe tomorrow, Jean? I need some breakfast.
This is that cafe at Hove, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're going to make them millionaires with all the free plugs you're giving them.
I hope so. I mean, she's a very nice lady.
Okay, well done tonight, Chris and Barry. Thanks.
What is he like? A message for our governor, Sam Chisholm, outside the ring. He delivered Sam Storey's inside the ring. It finished in the 7th. Steve Collins, let's have a look back at the start of that round when I think there was a slip from Storey. Maybe the knee went underneath him. Is this where it happened? There. Something went, didn't it?
It wasn't a slip. It's like as if his knee gave way under his body. I still won't use that as an excuse. I mean, it would hinder him, but I think Chris caught him in the corner and didn't let him out, and that's what done the damage.
There.
It was a good win. It was the type of win he needed, and I think he's back now on top again after that performance.
Do you think Eubank was stung by the criticism from the last fight?
Definitely, yes. I think he beat a good fighter tonight, a good, legitimate contender, a big southpaw, and he beat him convincingly. And I think now he's quietened the critics once again.
Look at this. Then the gum shield came out. Sam Storey stopped here, hoping there would be an opportunity to put it back, but the bout went on, and this had the end written all over it, didn't it?
Well, the towel came in. You can see it hanging over the ring there. He wasn't actually taking punches there, Sam. Maybe he shouldn't have put the towel in. Maybe he should have given him a chance to get through that ground.
Pointing it out, look.
That's his mouthpiece which fell.
Yes.
And the ref decided to wave the fight on because maybe he probably thought he'd done it on purpose.
But he plainly never had any doubts in his own mind that he was going to win, and win well, from the time that he put him down in the 6th and went away.
He did.
And postured and posed.
Usually what a guy would do was run in for the kill, but he took his time. He believed that he would catch up with him eventually, and he proved himself right.
And Sam Storey knows there.
It's sad to see it. Sam's a lovely guy and doesn't deserve to lose this way. I think a lot of bad luck has been involved here with the knee, but also a lot of good
Did it play a part? Let's clear that up.
It did play a part, yes, but it was also Chris Eubank's right hand in the 6th round played a bigger part.
And how good a win is this for Eubank?
This is a terrific win for him. It's going to give him a confidence boost, and it'll quieten some critics. Obviously, critics will say Sammy Storey was a no-hoper. I disagree with that because I think I know boxing better than some critics.
Well, I won't argue with you. So he was a justifiable opponent, in your opinion?
Definitely a justifiable opponent. He's in pain there, Sammy. He wasn't caught with the punches. Maybe his knee was a major problem. I'm sure we'll find out at a later stage when we speak to him.
Yes, it was all over there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in a lot of pain and he wasn't actually getting cut clean. Maybe his knee did play a major factor. You know, but you can see it in his face. He's not happy. And when the referee sees that, he's right to stop the fight.
We'll find out what was more of a problem, the punches he was taking or whether that knee really was a factor. When we speak to Storey, where's Chris Eubank? Well, everybody's in the ring now. Class, isn't he?
He is a class of his own. A good performance, and it was the performance he needed, and I thought he took a risk fighting Sammy Storey because I didn't think he would win quite as convincingly as he did against Sam.
So that's as good as anything you've seen from Eubank recently?
Definitely one of the best performances I've seen recently, better than his last performance, and I think it's better than a very close performance.
OK, more boxing from here in Cardiff, and we'll get some more reaction in a moment or so. Don't go away.